When she had left this royal residence and turned her delicate footsteps towards the sea, the child of Zeus made a clever show of grief, wailing loudly for her husband, who, in fact, was right there, very much alive.
Once we had reached the shipyard, we selected a Sidonian craft with 50 banks of oars. This was to be her very first sea voyage. Each man performed his task. The oars, the mast, the white sails set in place. The steering oars were lowered on the ropes.
Amid this flurry of activity, a group of men approached. Greeks, fellow travelers of Menelaus. They had been waiting, watching for their moment. All of them were dressed in shipwreck tatters. Handsome men, but haggard and unwashed. The son of Atreus, in a sly display of empathy, said to them in these words, "Poor creatures! What Greek ship has left you stranded? Clearly you've escaped the wreckage. How? Come with us, won't you? Atreus' son has died, his body gone. Tyndareus' daughter here is going to honor him with a cenotaph." They helped bring the offerings on board, shedding their tears with great dramatic art.
We were suspicious and whispered to each other. There were so many of them. But we remembered your words and held our tongues. You did us in when you put him in charge, the foreign!
Loading the ship was easy. Everything was light. The only problem was the bull. He didn't want to walk along the planks. He balked and bellowed, rolled his eyes. He arched his back and glared up at us through his horns, just daring us to touch him. Helen's husband exhorted his men, "Oh, sack of the million, come on!" and waved a dagger when she spoke. "And hoist the bull onto your strong shoulders, Greek style. Let's get this offering on board to honor the one who died." And sure enough, they lifted it and placed it on the ship. The horse went willingly, Menelaus persuading him by stroking his face and neck.
The last aboard was Helen. Gracefully she flexed her lovely ankle as she placed her foot upon each rung to climb the ladder. She sat down on the quarterdeck close by Menelaus, the alleged dead man. The other Greeks sat down to the left and right, close together. They were hiding swords beneath their clothing. The sound of the rushing waves was almost drowned out by the lively shouts responding to the boatswain. When we'd gone away from land, not too far, not too close, the helmsman said, "Oh, stranger, you're in charge. Is this good? Or shall we go out farther?"
The man replied, "This suits me fine." He took a sword in his right hand, made his way up the prow to sacrifice the bull. As he slit the victim's throat, he made no mention of any dead man, but he spoke these words, "Poseidon, Sea Lord, and your holy daughters of Nereus, please hear my prayer and send me safely home together with my wife to Nauplia's shores." The streams of blood shot out over the waves, a favorable omen.
Someone spoke up. "This whole thing is a fraud. Let's turn back. Give the order to change course, and you, adjust the rudder." But the son of Atreus, still standing over the bull, shouted out to his allies, "Men of Greece, choicest flower of our land, why wait? Let's butcher these barbarians, slaughter them, and fling them off the ship into the waves." The boatswain shouts back to the men, "Come on, grab something, grab hold of something, use it as a weapon, break off a bench, pick up a spar, and oil, let's bash these foreigners' heads, let's see them bleed!"
Everyone jumped up. One side was armed with pieces of wood, the other side with swords. The ship ran red with blood, and Helen, standing atop, shouting out encouragement, "Where is the glory of Troy? Let's show these men, these barbarians!" In the thick of it, some men fell, and some got right back up. Those who didn't, you could see were dead. Menelaus, since he was fully armed, was able to assist his struggling allies. When someone was in trouble, he stepped in with sword in hand and forced the enemy back into the waves. Pretty soon, all your oarsmen were off the ship. He told the helmsman, "Steer this ship towards Hellas!" They raised the mast. The winds were favorable.
They're gone. We managed to escape the slaughter by throwing ourselves overboard near the anchor. A fisherman found us just in time. We were exhausted. And he brought us back to land so we could bring this news. For human beings, there is no gift more valuable than wisdom combined with skepticism and restraint.